Let's move on to Giants, Cowboys. And Giants fought hard in that 17-9 loss at the Rams. They fought hard. Dallas opens up at -9, and they're taking money. It's now 10 at most books. This total sitting at 54. Danny Dimes throws for 190 yards, rushes for 45 yards. Giants haven't scored a touchdown in 2 games. This is, it's really interesting, these two spots, Colts, Browns, and Giants, Cowboys, because you have just such contrasting styles right now. The Giants finally got a little more out of their running game. So Gallman goes 6 for 49, Freeman 11 for 33. Freeman also catches for 4 passes for 35 yards. Lewis 1 rush for 10 yards. But you tie that in with DJ, and they ran for a nice amount. Slayton led all receivers, 3 catches for 48 yards. They're just getting nothing. Ingram, 6 catches for 35 yards. And they're dealing with injuries, and the O'Shane Zimenez injury is going to hurt them at linebacker. And also Kyler Fackrell, neck injury, Zimenez shoulder injury. And then they lose defensive back Adrian Colbert in the 4th quarter to a neck injury. Safeties, Colbert is questionable, and at one point I thought he was unlikely, but he's questionable. They have 2 safeties hurt. So they're dealing with injuries. Then we come to this Cowboys team. Prescott throws for 502 yards. 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, becomes the first NFL quarterback with at least 450 yards passing in 3 straight games. And we're talking about the 1-3 Cowboys. They can't get stops. Dallas has lost the first of 3 straight home games. And I don't know. It's very tough to trust them. Amari Cooper, 12 catches for 134 yards. CeeDee Lamb, first 2 touchdown passes. Cleveland puts 307 yards rushing against them. That's the most Cowboys have ever allowed, ever. Dallas is the first team since Oakland in 2012 to allow at least 38 points in 3 straight games. They lose their center, Joe Looney, with the MCL sprain. Dalton Schultz has a thigh injury, but we've talked about their injuries with Van Der Esch and Sean Lee and stuff like that, but they're not getting a ton of new injuries. Giants, Cowboys, Bebsy, take it away.
Well, can we stop heaping praise on Dallas? They've put up points against weak or injured defenses. They haven't stopped any offensive team. Yet week after week, they're like, oh, this is a good football team. No, they're not. Dallas is a bad football team. At best, they're an 8-8 team. They started out 1-3. Let's face it, they shouldn't have won that Falcons game. This should be an 0-4 team that is only slightly better than the Giants. So, yeah, the Giants haven't scored a touchdown in 2 games. They're going to score a touchdown in this game. The Cowboys have 0 defense. Again, I said this last week. I'm gonna repeat it until somebody proves me wrong. The best defensive player on their team is a guy who hasn't played in 5 years. The Cleveland Browns did whatever they wanted to this defense, and then took the foot off the gas, let them back in the game, and then shut it down. So again, this is just a love affair with the Dallas Cowboys that people want to keep propping them up like they're better than they are. They're not. This is not a good football team. Now, it just so happens the Giants are even fucking worse. So this is just an awful football game. I don't have much interest in it other than the fact that, Dak's going to throw up a bunch of points. And then Danny Dimes is going to have to respond, and I don't know if he's going to be able to respond. I think, if anything, the over is in play. But how can you bet the over when you're betting on a team that hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks? This is just an ugly, shitty game that I think they should just cancel. They should, you know what? They should cancel that division entirely. I am so sick of them. When have they been good? When's the last time that division was legitimately relevant? Even the year that Philadelphia won the Super Bowl, the division sucked.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of them showing up. I don't know. I'm off this game. I hate it.
It's tricky. I think Aaron came in and said, "What do you guys think about Washington and the Rams?" And I was like, "Well, that's a tricky game." But the Colts, Browns, and Giants, Cowboys are just such contrasting styles that I'm very hesitant to even. I look at the 54 and I think, well, the Giants are going to put up that many points, but maybe this is what they need so badly. Go up against this terrible, terrible Cowboy defense, and then start rolling.
They're gonna break this touchdown streak. They will get it, but this division has been appalling for 2 decades. Just cancel the NFC East until they get their shit together. They should the football needs relegation, like European soccer has. Like they like the Premier League relegation, and we can just do away with this division and fuck America's team for a couple of years. When's the last time they were America's team? They've won 1 playoff game in 20 some odd years.
I like it. Fun breakdown. So we have no moves on these very interesting games, but we have a Sunday show at 11 a.m. and we're able to tweet out any official plays that we want. And our Bebsy, 17-6, 73.9%, up 9.88 units, ROI 42.96%, coming off a 4-2 week, up 1.55 units on this young season.